Welcome back, dear students. In the last video you have learnt about what are gymnosperms and phanerogames. Let us now proceed with what are called as angiosperms. Now, as I have told you, they belong to phanerogames because they are also called as flowering plants. And angiosperms, what is the difference between gymnosperm and angiosperm is that gymnosperms are having naked seeds. That means there is no fruit for the seed. Whereas for angiosperms, angio, the word angios means vessel and sperms means a seed. That means the seeds are enclosed within a vessel, or here the vessel means the fruit. So angiosperms bear fruit, and therefore angio means vessel and sperm means seed. So all the seed bearing plants with the fruits and flowers are belonging to the highest evolution of the plant kingdom, that is angiosperms. So these have the flower as their reproductive organs. Even gymnosperms have flower as their reproductive organ. But I had mentioned to you in that video that flowers of gymnosperms are not colorful. They are in the form of a cone. Whereas here in this case, all the flowering plants which you see around, different colorful flowers, are all belonging to angiosperms. So angiosperms is the biggest group of plants. Fine. Now, flowers develop into fruits and seeds are formed within the fruits. So as I mentioned to you, flowers are developing into fruits and seeds are formed within the fruits. The seeds are covered and hence they are called as angiosperms. The plants whose seed can be divided into two equal halves are dicotyledons, and those whose seeds cannot be divided into two equal halves are called as monocots. So this also I had told you when I was telling you about a basis of classification, that they can be divided on the basis of whether the seed can be divided into one part or two parts, and depending on that they are called as monocots and dicots. So where are these actually belonging to? They are actually belonging to angiosperms. So angiosperms are further subdivided into two subdivisions called as monocots and dicots. Mono means single, so they have the seed cannot be divided into two parts. Okay, fine. Whereas dicot, di means two, the seed can be divided into two parts and therefore they are called a dicot. So let us now focus on what are monocots and dicots and what is the difference between them. So once you know about the difference between them, you also should be able to identify by just looking at the plant whether it is a monocot or a dicot. So let us see now what are monocots and dicots and what is their difference point. So let us consider the points of both. Now first point is that they have, dicots have two cotyledons, whereas monocots have single cotyledon. That means if you consider a seed can be divided into two parts, whereas monocot seed cannot be divided into two parts. Here you can take an example of a mango or maybe a bean seed or any rajma, whatever you can take. You can see that moong seed also can be divided into two. Whereas monocot rice, you can see rice cannot be divided into two parts. Even the corn seed cannot be divided into two parts. So corn or rice, they belong to monocots, whereas mango or cashew or bean seeds or moong seeds are all belonging to dicots because the seeds can be divided into two parts. Next is their roots. How are their roots? In case of dicots, the root is called as a taproot. I am going to show you how the taproot looks like. Now, if you, I don't know whether you know about this or not, but you might have learned this in the lower classes. The taproot, there is a primary root, middle root is there, and for that primary root, on the side, the branches or the rootlets are coming. Okay, so for the main branch there will be roots coming. So that is called as a taproot system. Whereas in this case, monocots, they have a fibrous root system. Fibrous means what? From one point all the roots are coming. It is not like the middle one, primary root is there and for that branches are there. But fibrous is from one point, many, roots will be coming at one point. That is called as the fibrous root system. So monocots all have the presence of fibrous root and it is very easy to pull. Whereas a taproot, if you try to pull the plant, it is very difficult to pull. So this also you can differentiate. You can try, going in your garden and pulling the plants. Whichever comes very easily is a monocot and whichever doesn't come is a taproot. That means a dicot plant. Fine. Now let us now consider the stem. How is the stem of the two? Now in the dicots, the stem, if you try to break it, it will not easily break because the stem is very hard. Whereas in the monocots, there are different types of stems. So some stems are hollow. For example, in the case of a bamboo, okay, bamboo, if you just cut it and see, you will find it a hollow stem. So bamboo is actually a monocot, also called as grass. All the grasses belongs to monocot. So bamboo is a hollow stem, and so bamboo belongs to monocot. And false stem like that of a banana, if you just cut and see, I will show you, the pictures are there in the next slide, you will be able to understand what I am telling about right now. So they have a false stem, whereas the onion stem, if you see, onion, if you consider, it has a disc shape stem. Okay, onion itself is a stem, but it is a modified stem. Fine. So onion also belongs to a monocot. Fine. Next, let us see what type of venation they have. Venation means, if you take a leaf now, if you take a leaf, in the leaf there is a midrib. Okay, and for from the midrib there will be veins coming. So that is called as the venation pattern. Now here in the case of dicotyledons, there is reticulate venation. Means what? Middle vein is there and there will be veinlets coming out, and for those veins again there will be branching. Fine. Whereas in the case of monocots, it is a parallel venation. That means for a midrib, all the veins will be traveling parallel. Whereas this is having a pattern. I will show you in the next slide. You will understand what I mean to say. Next is flowers. How are the flowers? In the case of dicots, they either have tetramerous or pentamerous flowers. What does this mean? Now when you see, look at the flower, the number of petals might be 4 or multiples of 4, like 4, 8, okay, 12, 16 and so on. And pentamerous means either 5 petals or maybe multiples of 5 petals. So that is called a pentamerous. Whereas in the case of monocots, you will find flowers are trimerous. That means each flower will have 3 petals or maybe multiples of 3 petals. So now let us see each of this point, that is cotyledon, I mean the seed, the root system, the stem, the venation pattern in the case of leaves, and how are the flowers. Fine. So now let us see the pictures of each one of them. So here I have placed the differentiation point. You can understand this is called as a dicot seed, wherein it is a bean seed, wherein you can divide it into 2 parts. Whereas this is a corn seed, corn seed or maca you might have eaten, so you know how the seed looks like. So it is a single seed, so it belongs to a monocot. Next, let us see. Now this is a stem of a banyan tree. You can see it is been cut, cut like this, in this manner. It is also called as cross section. You can see how you can understand, realize that it is very hard stem. You cannot easily break the stem. Whereas in the case of monocots, here I have placed a picture of a hollow stem of the bamboo. Okay, here it is not hollow, it is packed, you can see, whereas here you can see it is very packed. Okay, fine. So next is this is a banana stem, which is also called as a false stem. Fine. Next is our onion. So onion, you can see these are actually called as the leaves. This part is called as the stem part of the onion, and these are the roots. So here is the stem, actual stem, which is disc shape. Okay, I don't know whether you'll be able to see, but here at the base, this is called as a disc shape stem, and these are called as its leaves. Whereas this part is the root of the onion. So actually onion is a stem tuber. It is also called as a stem tuber or also called as onion bulb. Next, let us see the difference between the roots. Now here I have placed, I have clicked a photograph of a taproot. If you can see, here you can see the primary root is there, and for the primary roots there are rootlets. So this type of root system is called a taproot system. So here I have placed some videos to show you when I was trying to pull out the taproot, how it was very difficult for me to you can see over here that is not coming out. I am trying to pull, it is not coming out. Why? Because the taproot is very strong, it will not come out easily. You can see over here it is not coming out, whereas in the second video you see that I have tried to pull, and when I pulled it, it did not come fully. It came half it got cut. So you can see over here clearly in this movie. Fine. Now let us go to the next root, that is your fibrous root. You can see this picture over here. You can see all the roots are coming at one point. So this type of root system is called as a fibrous root system, and here I have placed a small video here to show how easily you can pull the roots from the soil. You can see again one more time. You can see it is easily been pulled out, and all the this. So this is grass. So grass is a monocot. Now let us see how are the leaves. Now this, if you see, this is the back posterior part of the leaf, wherein you can see the veins. This is a midrib here. This is called as a midrib, and these are called as the veins of it. So veins again are branching here. If you see, they are branching. Now since these is type of reticulate pattern, so that is why it is called as type of reticulate venation. Whereas in case of monocot, this is a banana leaf. You can see a banana leaf outside if you have in your garden. You can go and see this is the midrib, and all the veins are running parallel to each other. So that is why it is called as a parallel type of venation. Now let us go for the next part, that is nothing but the flower. Flower, you can see this is a dicot flower which is pentamerous. You can see 5 petals here, and also I have placed some more pictures of the different flowers which are either 5 or multiples of 5. So when they are multiples of 5 also, they belong to dicots. Let us see now the monocot here. This is a monocot flower which is trimerous, or 3 petals are there for this, or the other flowers which are multiples of 3. So that means they will be in a multiple of 3, 6, 9, like that. So they are belonging to the monocot. So this is regarding now your angiosperms, which is classified again depending upon how the seed is, whether it is having the seed can be divided into one part or it can be divided into 2 parts. Depending on that, they are classified in monocots and dicots. And we have now seen all the different characters of the monocots and dicots, and I hope so when you go outside in the garden, you will be able to identify which is a monocot, which is a dicot, and of course all the flowering plants are belonging to angiosperm. So this is what we have studied in the whole lesson now, that kingdom Plantae can be divided into 2 subkingdoms called as cryptogams and phanerogams. This classification is according to August Eckler, as I have mentioned to you before. Then again, cryptogams are called as non-flowering plants. So non-flowering plants are 3 different types: thallophytes, bryophytes, pteridophytes, and phanerogams are flowering plants, gymnosperms and angiosperm. Now thallophytes, no organs are there at all. That means stem, root, leaf, flower, fruit, nothing is there. Bryophyte, stem-like, leaf-like, root-like structures are there, but no conducting tissue is there, no flower is there, no fruit is there. Pteridophytes, they have stem, root, leaves, everything, but no flower and no fruit, but they have the conducting tissue. Whereas gymnosperms have the flowers, fruits, leaves, flowers, fruit, seed, leaves, everything they have except the fruit wall for the seed. And lastly, which is the highly evolved one, that is angiosperm, have everything, that is leaves, roots, flowers, fruits, the seeds again depending upon whether it is a single seed or it can be divided into 2 parts, then it is called as monocots and dicots. So this is regarding the whole lesson. I hope so you have understood the lesson. Thank you very much. Prepare well. Read the lesson one more time, then you will understand. If you want, you can go back and hear the video again. Thank you very much.